Trow Elliman was the pioneer publisher of the Stowe Reporter from 1963 to 1998. He was responsible for developing the paper's look and size into that of an award-winning weekly tabloid. He moved to Stowe in 1960 after spending 10 years working in advertising in New York.
Well, I just sort of drifted from one thing to another. In 1960, at a cocktail party with, I don't know whether I can mention all the names, Alec Nemec, Bob Borton, and Russ Spring, the latter two being ski instructors at that point. At a cocktail party, Alec Nemec came up with the fact that the Stowe Reporter was for sale for $500, I think it was, and we chipped in and we ended up buying it at that cocktail party. And at that point, it was about a two-page, 8 by 11 and a half, whatever it is, mimeograph sheet. I never had any journalism experience at all, I should say. Everything I did was by the seat of my pants.
Owning a lodging business, a series of cottages he built on his property, working as a ski instructor for 10 years, and helping to organize the Hopeful program at the Mount Mansfield Ski Club, he had a sense of running a business in Stowe and what people were looking for.
I knew we had to do something, and so we started writing about skiing. And as I became the ski editor, sort of the night watchman, and I'd take out the trash and just about anything else that needed to be done, including selling ads. We had to make a living on it. And the ski reporting worked out very well. It was a very active junior program here run by the Mount Mansfield Ski Club. And it was an ongoing series, and they always had results, and we would print the results. Statistics, all sports love statistics, and we would print all the result sheets of what the juniors did every week. We'd bring in these wet, soggy result sheets to the night typists at that point, who cursed me for having to copy this stuff out. But anyway, so they would type up all these results at night.
He was also one of the founding fathers and the first secretary of the Vermont Alpine Racing Association, or VARA, in 1971. That same year, he wrote the VARA vision statement, to keep ski racing first in Vermont and Vermont ski racers first in the world. It is still in use today. From the onset, VARA took over, reorganized, and administered all levels of ski racing in Vermont. At the same time, VARA began the process of asserting Vermont's independence from the Eastern Ski Association and in establishing Vermont's own financial autonomy.
One of the first accomplishments, anyway, of VARA was to take over control of the sport in the state. And the second accomplishment, as I see it, that we did was eventually, we at least started the process of splitting off from Eastern and becoming our own independent organization.
These goals were strongly supported by Elliman's articles and editorials in the Stowe Reporter, as the paper continued to chronicle and explain these changes. The paper also championed the extraordinary growth of alpine racing in Vermont.
In 1962, when I first got involved with this, really, we had, I think, only 2 skiers at the national level. I don't know whether we had anybody on the Olympic team at that point. Billy Kidd was there, certainly, but I'm not sure when it was that he retired. But we had Billy Kidd anyway, and Rip McManus that was there off and on at the national level. But by 1976, VARA very proudly sent out a notice that we had, I can read you part of the beginning of this. This supplement that we put out started out with the stated purpose was to express our pride in the predominance of Vermont alpine ski races at every level of competition, regionally, nationally, and internationally. More Olympic medalists, more Can-Am winners, more junior championships, and a whopping 51% of the U.S. national team. So we consider that quite an accomplishment, and a lot of that obviously goes to the coaching people and all of that at that level.
The paper, then dubbed the official newspaper of VARA, became must-reading for alpine aficionados across the country and became widely quoted in other ski publications. He also served as director of the Eastern Ski Association and the Eastern Ski Writers. In November 2011, Elliman was inducted into the Vermont Alpine Racing Association Hall of Fame.
I'm looking back on it more recently, 14 or 15 years since I sold the paper. I'm very proud to see the Stowe Reporter going along so well, thanks to Biddle, and also seeing VARA so splendidly organized and going along. And it's just nice to think that with companies going under in every which way, to see these two organizations, which I helped nurture back in their early days, still going on.
The Vermont Ski and Snowboard Museum Hall of Fame welcomes Trow Elliman.